today at Speedy's Garage, I'm gonna give you a little tip and tell you who to watch out for at the drag strip. So I had a gentleman hound me for years about finally getting into a drag race with his car. He had made some changes over time. I think the most recent changes he had I think it's a 2009 RT. He put a Hellcat short block in it. He did the A2 Speed Phase 6 heads, which means they did some CNC machine work on those, has upgraded valve springs, maybe an epoch valve job, not 100% sure. Pretty good sized cam in the car, and a built transmission. He had drag radials and skinnies, I believe, drive shaft, obviously a custom tune, a couple other goodies, and the real jewelry piece of the engine, he has a Magnuson supercharger on top, making about 9.5 to 10 pounds of boost. So back when I had Orange Crush, he would ask me about racing him, and this is back even before he had the Hellcat short block and all of that stuff. He had just the Magnuson on the stock 5.7, but he always wanted to race me. His car was an automatic, whereas Orange Crush was a manual 6-speed. So the manual 6-speeds were a little bit of a disadvantage, excuse me, compared to the automatic. So he kind of thought I could miss a shift or something like that would happen, but we'd meet up at Challenger Fest and other events and just never had an opportunity to actually race each other. Well, time went on. As you've seen, I sold Orange Crush, and now we have Go Man Go, and he has now since obviously done the Hellcat short block like I mentioned before. And so he started bringing up racing me again, and we actually had the opportunity at Challenger Fest this year, just a couple weeks ago. He approached me ahead of the event, asked me if I'd like to race, and just kind of jokingly I said, well, it'll cost you $500 to find out how fast Go Man Go is. And he laughed and said, okay, done. And so before I knew it, we had bet $500 on this race. So I get to the event, and busy as usual, but everything was going smooth. So I actually had some time to make a few passes at the track, especially around lunchtime. So pretty much everybody broke for lunch. I hopped in the car, thought I'd make a couple of passes while the staging lanes were pretty much empty. I think I had to wait more than 5 or 10 seconds, and I was pulling right up and going down the track again. So I made let's see, 3 passes in a row, and I ran something like a 10.6, a 10.7, and a low 10.8. And I thought, okay, heat soak in the car, we're getting a little bit of heat in the engine and whatnot, that's to be expected, but 10.6, 10.7, 10.8, not too bad. And right as I pulled back around to the pits to park, I see this gentleman coming along, and he goes by Grandpa Greg, so that's what we're gonna refer to him from here on out, Grandpa Greg. So here comes Grandpa Greg, big grin on his face. Hey, you know, he's a good friend of mine now. I've known him for 10 years probably. He helps me with Challenger Fest. He's the guy that handles all the food vendors and food trucks and barbecue and all that good food everyone gets to eat. So definitely thank you, Greg. You know, you're gonna see this video eventually, so thanks for that. But here he comes over, hey man, you know, you think we're gonna get to race today? And he was real slick about it. So I wasn't even thinking. I'm like, oh man, we got a break. Let's go get this race in. You know, there's nobody on the track. We'll be able to pull right up and just go for it. Little did I know, he probably had his car cooling off for an hour. Maybe had ice bags on the supercharger. I don't know. I know my car was boiling hot. It had just come off a 3 hot lap run down the drag strip. So, you know, I don't know. But I thought, let's go try it. You know, let's see what we got for him. I knew his car was pretty fast based on what it had in it. I think it made, on the dyno at 80 speed, 600 horsepower. It made more torque, a lot more torque than horsepower. I want to say 600 horsepower and like 690 or somewhere around in there, 680, 690 torque. Not sure why, maybe the cam had something to do with that, the way it let the boost in, I don't know, but he made a whole bunch of torque, which is obviously good for launching and whatnot. So anyway, we get up there and we line up. So now you see how it turned out with $500 on the line. Well, as you saw, I barely pulled it off, and only because of the reaction time. I think Greg's become a little bit more experienced of a racer over the years, and he's done quite a few MSHS events, and I think he kind of hung back and waited for me to make 2 or 3 passes to get the car heat soaked. He saw me park. I mean, literally, I had just shut the car down, and then he comes over, big smile on his face. Hey man, how's it going? You know, you think we can get this race in? And I bet he had his car sitting off to the side cooling down, like I said. So he kind of baited me a little bit and almost got me. But like I said, luckily I was quick on the reaction time and we got it done. Greg's already talking about making some further changes to his car, and I think he's ready to call me out next year. So we'll see how that goes. To keep up with him now, I mean, that 1085 I think was his personal best that he actually ran on that run. That's getting it done. If I had been in Orange Crush, the old 6-speed manual car I had previously, it would have been a very close race. I think he ran a 10.857, and the best I ever did in in Orange Crush was a 10.850. So it would have been a very close race had I been in that 6-speed car. But Greg's already talking about making additional changes, more boost, more tune, more whatever. So he's already about to call me out for next year, so I might have to step it up a little bit and get Go Man Go ready for battle. So after all that, I ended up with a $5 bill and an IOU for $4.95. Greg, I hope you're sending the rest of that money. So I got home this afternoon and I had a little package in the mail. I got this from Grandpa Greg, and quite frankly, this means more to me than the $495 he owes me. So Greg, you're off the hook. This is exactly the reason I'm in this hobby. This kind of stuff is so cool, and I'm gonna hang this up in the shop. If you like what you saw, be sure to hit subscribe in the bottom right-hand corner, and be sure to check out my website, www.speedysgarage.net, for more project information.